Welcome aboard, fellow enthusiasts, as we embark on another incredible video. We extend a warm welcome to you as we discuss and analyze Trois Mélodies Satie in this video. Trois Mélodies 3 Songs is a 1916 song cycle for voice and piano by Erik Satie. One of Satie's rare excursions in Mélodies French art songs, it lasts under 4 minutes in performance. The composer's first English-language biographer, Rollo H. thought this work contained the essence of Satie the ironist, the wit, and the skillful parodist. In this segment, we'll be unraveling the complexities of songs and exploring its multifaceted nature. The cycle consists of 3 songs set to whimsical verses by 3 contemporary French authors. Apart from a general light-hearted tone, there are no unifying elements in the music or texts. Satie conceived it for mezzo-soprano voice, but it has been successfully performed by soprano and baritone vocalists. 1. La Statue de Bronze, the Bronze Statue. Poem by Paul Fargu. Dedicated to Jane Bathory post-Triplight not too fast during the World War I years, Satie found a friend and kindred spirit in avant-garde author Paul Fargu, whose absurdist, virtually untranslatable poetry cannot be linked to any school. They would later collaborate on Satie's melody cycle Ludians 1923. Fargu's lyrics for La Statue de Bronze describe the ennui of an ornamental garden sculpture, a metallic frog, as passers-by toss coins and other objects into its gaping mouth. There is a strong whiff of music hall in the cakewalk-like introduction, after which the piano part subsides into an pa ostinato rhythm. Over this, the initially ebullient vocal line fades into quiet pensiveness, as the artificial frog muses that it would rather be with real frogs in a pond blowing bubbles of music out of the moonlight's soap, and how at night its mouth is full of insects it cannot eat. 2. Darfano. Poem by M. God. Dedicated to Emile Engel Tranquil Quitlim. God was a pseudonym for Marie and Mimi Godubska, the 17-year-old niece of Mischa Sert, Satie's foremost patron of the period. Along with her younger brother Jean, she was a dedicatee of Maurice Ravel's piano duet Montreloy 1910. Godubska's poem is a silly dialogue about trees between 2 faux mythical characters, Darfano and Chrysaline. Almasic reviewer Virginia Sublet noted that the song depends for its intelligibility on an untranslatable pun. Eliding a final N turns a non-existent word meaning bird tree into, or hazelnut tree. Satie's solemn, gently swaying underscoring gives the text an ironic dignity. Myers enthused, the effect is irresistibly comic, although the means employed by Satie in turning this bit of nonsense into music are classic in their sobriety and restraint. 1. Le Chapelier the Hatter. Poem by after Lewis Carroll. Dedicated to Igor Stravinsky, a libretto genre Gunid fairly brisk. In the manner of Gunid, Satie was a great fan of imaginative and humorous literature, and was very fond of Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland 1865. He once planned to write a ballet on the subject. This song cleverly employs multiple levels of literary and musical pastiche. Poet-journalist Win Chalpt drew his lyrics from Chapter 7 of Alice, A Mad Tea Party, focusing on the Mad Hatter. The character frets over his pocket watch, which is running 3 days late, even though he lubricates it with the best butter and dunks it into his tea. Satie's accompaniment parodies the love duet Chanson de Magali from Gounod's opera Mireille 1864, which itself was an adaptation of an old Provençal folk song. Robert Orledge suggested that the playing direction genre Gunid was the composer's discreet way of thumbing his nose musically speaking at Gunid, that epitome of bourgeois sentimentality. Satie was so pleased with Le Chapelier that he dedicated it to his friend Igor Stravinsky, one of the few contemporary composers he admired without reservation. The drollery of the Trois Mélodies would appear to link it with Satie's humoristic or fantasist compositions of the airs. But in this song cycle, apart from the genre Gunid reference, he refrained from using the witty playing directions and extra-musical commentary that helped define the public perception of his music in the pre-World War I era. He had apparently grown weary of the formula. Satie would revert to it only once more for his spoof of 18th piano music, the Sonate in Bureaucratic 1917. In this part of the video, we'll be diving deep into history and unraveling its profound impact. Satie wrote the Trois mélodies for mezzo-soprano Jane Bathory, a star of the Parisian opera world and a vigorous promoter of new French music. Although Bathory knew of Satie's reputation through their mutual friend Claude Debussy, the two did not actually meet until early April 1916, in preparation for an upcoming Ravel Satie festival sponsored by the Société Lyre et Palette. Satie immediately agreed to provide 2 new vocal numbers for her, and the songs Duffano and Le Chapelier were completed by April 14. They were first performed by Bathory and pianist Ricardo Vise at the festival, held at the Salle Hyans in Paris on April 18, 1916. Bathory was then invited to perform the 2 songs at a more prestigious event, a benefit concert for artists affected by the war sponsored by Sister of Fashion designer Paul Poiret, scheduled for the following month. It would be staged in conjunction with an exhibition of modern painting, and Henri Matisse and Pablo Picasso were commissioned to design the program. Satie habitually preferred to construct his compositions in groups of 3, and on May 16 he sent Jean-Paul Fargu a note requesting a bit of verse to cap the Bathory cycle, something very short and terribly cynical. Fargu's brand new poem, La Statue de Bronze, was duly delivered and Satie completed his setting on May 26. The complete Trois mélodies was premiered by Bathory and Satie at the Galerie Thomas in Paris on May 30, 1916. The score was published in 1917. In his last years, the irascible Satie severed ties with 2 collaborators on the Trois mélodies, Rinchalet and Jean-Paul Fargu, over petty misunderstandings. But Jane Bathory continued to promote his music after the composer's death in 1925. With Satie disciple Darius Milhaud as her accompanist, she made the first recording of the Trois mélodies, issued by Columbia in 1929. In this section, we'll be deep diving into discography, unraveling its complexities and uncovering valuable insights. Jane Bathory and Darius Milhaud, Columbia, 1929. Pierre Bernac and Francis Poulenc, Columbia Masterworks, 1950. To Elaine Bonzi and Frank Glaser, Vox, 1971. Maggie Mespel and Aldous Ciccolini, 2 songs only, excluding La Statue de Bronze, Arabesque, 1974. Marjan Quicksilver and Reinbert de Leeuw Harlequin, 1976, reissued by Philips. 1982. Jesse Norman and Dalton Baldwin Phillips, 1977. Bruno Leponti and Marc Durand Calliope, 1985. Eileen Hulse and Robin Bowman Factory Classical, 1990. Sigan von Ossen and Armand Fuchs ITM Classics, 1994. Jane Manning and Bujin Gorik Budierfield Classics, 2002. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.